we're also interacting with a few students. We have Shivali Rai, who's joining us. She's a class 12 student. And we have Naveen Chopra, founder TC Global India, who's also joining us live. Before I take this to the student, Mr. Naveen Chopra, we're really trying to understand, as far as the submission made by the government is concerned, how much of it will really work out for the students when the implementation takes place. So as far as this assessment plan is concerned, what do you make of it so far?
I think I'll repeat myself that the class 11th, most students tend to relax. Most students tend to, because they have really slogged in class 10, in the 11th, they tend to relax and they don't work as hard as they do in 10th and 12th, because those are both board assessed exams. Now, if you're giving a 30% weightage to class 11, it's going to eschew the end results that the student is going to aim for. There is, if you were only to examine the historic data that is available with schools and CBSE of the grades that students obtained in class 10 and 12th and the 11th, you will see that 11th in most cases is substantially below the grades that they obtained 10th or indeed in 12th. So there's a graph that tends to dip. In 11th, it dips. In 12th, it starts to rise again, because 11th students take very seriously, given the fact that their university admissions are dependent upon the grade that they achieve in 12th. So they slog in 12th, as a consequence of which they often improve on their marks even over and above the 10th grade. At least the serious students, do, and there's a very large number of students who are very serious in our country. So whatever formula you want to come up with, there is going to be heartburn in some sectors. Now, students who have not done the work very hard and were, busy in a little bit more of musty, let's say, than hard slog and hard work, they might be happier, and they might sing for joy and say, oh, we got away with it. But it's not fair on those who worked hard, and it's not fair on the system, which is trying to evaluate the ability to concentrate, the ability of focus, the ability of critical thinking, when they are taken into account. Because don't forget that in a class, in a cohort of students, if there are 40 students in a class and 3 or 4 of them are below par and are unable to keep up with the class, they tend to pull the whole class down.
All right. So, Mr. Naveen Chopra, they're talking about the other side to it, of how possibly a lot of students don't take class 11 so seriously, and perhaps it might be unfair to those who've performed well all throughout. Let's bring in Shivali Rai at this moment into the conversation. Being a student, Shivali, do you agree to what Mr. Naveen Chopra is saying? Do you think it's unfair for the students to be evaluated based on all 3 classes, 10th, 11th and 12th? Or do you think this is perhaps a good idea?
I absolutely agree with him, because, class 11, people, all the students take it a little lightly, because they've just, completed their class 10th board exams. So they take it a little lightly. And plus, there's not, the same paper doesn't come all the time, right? Like, there are different schools. Class 11th marks are always, based on class, on the school. Right. The papers, the school gives the papers. So I believe that, grading on the basis of class 11th result is a bad idea.
All right. Stay on with us, Shivali. And as Mr. Naveen Chopra also continues to be with us, let me quickly introduce Ayushi Agarwal also. Yet another student joining us on this broadcast. She'll be joining us shortly. And also Aditi Jain, who will be with us on this broadcast. But before I go across to them, I think we're trying to establish that connection. Mr. Naveen Chopra, then, in your opinion, what is the best solution? What is it that perhaps can be taken up and can be followed diligently and will also be fair to students and will most likely be based only on their class 12th results? Because all throughout this last 1 year, remember, class 12 students have also gone through a very different process and procedure of studying, examinations and all of that. So what do you think is the best way forward?
Well, I would say, and this is now without having done any deep thinking on this, but I would suggest that within the submission that they have already made, stay with 30% weightage to class 10, reduce the 11th weightage to 10% or maximum 15%, and take 55 or 60% according to what you adjust in the 11th class to of the 12th class internal results, internal exams that happen, or term exams that happen. That might come up with a fairer formula. But I don't understand something else. That why is it that we are running to the Supreme Court to settle a matter of education when the education matter should be sorted out within the education community, fraternity, involving the student also as a stakeholder, there's a school principals, teachers, counselors, and some educationists and the education ministry. I mean, I am not sure how wide the consultative process was. I mean, these are things that the public doesn't ever find out, and these are essential within the frame of a true democratic setup. I mean, these things should be transparent, open, and
these concerns, Mr. Naveen Chopra, all this while have also kept students very anxious. So, of course, that's a concern that we also want to address in great detail. Let's quickly bring in Ayushi Agarwal. She's now with us on this broadcast. Ayushi, what's your take on the government submission on the assessment plan for class 12 examinations? Do you agree with the 40-30-40 formula?
Yes, I agree with the government of this plan, but in my opinion, the 11th weightage should be reduced because 11th class is not a very hard-working class. We don't prepare well for 11th class, that's why.
Mr. Naveen Chopra, the students for the moment they're agreeing with you and certainly of the opinion that they did not take class 11th examinations as seriously, and perhaps that is a concern to them as well. Mr. Naveen Chopra, before we go back to the students once again, as far as the class 12th examinations are concerned and how they will be assessed, as far as those 40% that we're looking at, now the CBSE for the moment has given the leeway to the schools to understand how much weightage do they want to give, let's say, to unit tests, midterm or pre-board examinations. But that will be adopted in a different manner by each school for that matter. So do you think that's fair in that sense?
Bad idea. I mean, you need to have a standard for across the board if you're going to maintain some sanctity. Otherwise, with that discretionary frame, what happens if some schools are inclined to I don't have a word, fudge the results. They want their students to do well. So they give a higher weightage to whichever frame they think is going to be okay. How does that impact on the overall frame of this thing? So it has to be standard. And education is meant to have a standard. I mean, it is to a standard that everybody works for. It's a standard to which everybody strives for. And you can't break the standard and give that kind of a flexibility. I mean, then what's left? I mean, what's the difference? I mean, it is the most motivating thing that you can do for the students who are hardworking. You see, the education per se, good grades, good marks are not something that tell you how intelligent a student is. There are any number of very, very intelligent students who, or people or children who don't pay attention or focus on the studies, and therefore they don't do well. What studies tells us is that if the student has learned the ability to hold and ignore their pleasure drives, masti abhi kaam karna hai, I've got an exam coming up, let me study, let me not go to the party, let me not talk on my chat, let me organize my time. Doing well means a student has learned to manage his or her time, or time management, has learned to focus, has developed long concentration spells. So, for example, in mathematics, you cannot do maths well unless you learn to focus your mind completely on the subject. So maths is not just about studying equations and formulae. Maths is about developing your mind. No school teaches this. And at every seminar that I have, every conversation I have with students, this is something that I bring onto their notice. And I have seen that almost 100% of students that I've talked to, if in class 10 they were moving into class 11 thinking of dropping maths, they will hang on to the maths, and they will then struggle with their own minds, because all it needs is for a student to say, your mind is wandering off, come back here, I've got you to focus, you have to focus. And any student who has learned to focus and concentrate, there's nothing on earth that can beat this person, because you've learned the basic act of how to learn. You've learned to focus your mind. I mean, that is the most powerful tool that ever exists, apart from your tongue, I mean, and your communication skill and other factors. But they're all governed by the mind. It's the mind that sits on top of all of that. So how does this system reconcile itself to all these basic facts and truths?
As far as Mr. Naveen Chopra, as far as the government report is concerned, they are trying to emphasize on the fact that this is going to be a reflection of keeping in mind each and every subject and its evaluation. But for the moment on this broadcast, the two students not so convinced on class 11th results being taken into consideration. Let me bring in Aditi Jain, who's an educationist, into the broadcast. Good afternoon, Aditi. What's your take really? Because along with Naveen Chopra, the two students at the moment feel that class 11th examination results being considered, and that too being given weightage of 30%, might be quite unfair given how children tend to go a little easy in class 11. But as for 10th results are concerned, the panel has decided that 3 of the 5 subjects will be taken into consideration in those 30%. What do you make of the the observations that have been made?
Yes, it is quite obvious that children, some of them, not all, but by and large, they try to take it easy in class 11, and so they must be disturbed about it. But at the same time, in these difficult times, I'm sure the teachers would keep it in the back of their mind. After all, after parents, it's the teachers who are our groomers, who really care for us. So keeping that ideal state in mind, I feel that these teachers will consider the basic ability of a child while assessing the child. And, all teachers year after year understand the kind of easy approach that children take. It's just that in class 12 board examination, they put their focus on. So here, I can appreciate their concern. I can appreciate the children's concern, student concern. But if that is it, I would request the teachers to keep this into their minds, that students definitely take it easy, and to understand the ability of the child and then assess a child and mark them on 30%.
All right. What we'll do is, because we have 2 students here, and of course, this is very, very crucial to the students. Ayushi and Shivali, I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask whatever you feel like to, let's say Mr. Naveen Chopra and also Aditi Jain, who are with us. Shivali, if I could go with you first, do you have any concerns that you want to particularly raise and something that you're really wanting to clear out?
Yeah. Actually, I do. So my question is to Aditi ma'am, why should we be graded on class 11th with 30%? Isn't that quite a lot? 30%.
Yeah, that's what. I do appreciate that, but you see, when these committees sit, and it's such a pressure even on the government to bring about balance where even the students benefit out. Maximum students should benefit out of it, and that's the prime objective of any body, to formulate any formula to go forth. I agree with you totally, and that's what I'm trying to do. To say that you see, these 30%, teachers understands the basic of a child. So if it can be changed, I'll be happy. But if not, then I really request the teachers to keep it into their consideration, to not really see their physical output, but also their mental output, which a teacher can very well assess of a child. Yeah, which is very difficult. I know. I agree with you totally.
Yes, and Aditi, ma'am, some would be of the opinion that perhaps students who've been consistent in their performance all throughout 10th, 11th and 12th are likely to benefit from this as well. So for them, it's going to be a game changer and essentially something that they would appreciate. But I'd like Ayushi also to clear her doubts and ask whatever she feels like to Mr. Naveen as well.
I want to ask a question from Naveen, sir. That this formula 30-30-40 can be biased for those students who are just preparing for 12th class and they have not taken all the classes so seriously. So they will be not that much benefited from that formula.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get the question. I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I was asking, sir, that those students who are not able to study much in 10th, 11th, 12th, in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, that much because of 12th class, they study more. They will obviously suffer from this formula.
बेटा पहली बात तो ये है कि students also need to be aware that within the context of the world that they are living in, they need to start to learn to manage their time and focus their minds from an early age. So they really need to, the earlier you begin, the better off you are. And the second thing is that if you have not put in an effort, if any human being has not put in an effort, then to expect a reward that is bigger than the effort put in is not fair on those who have put in an effort and work very, very hard to gain a reward or gain an advantage in a very, very, very competitive world where jobs are vanishing, populations are increasing, and the entire system is buckling, to be quite honest. But that's a very big discussion. The thing that is in the control of the student is his or her own mind, his or her own time. And these things they need to learn to self-discipline. Discipline from the outside comes from parents and from schools, but you have to discipline yourself. So you have to just wake up. And whatever stage of life you are at, if this is, you are now in 11th, please wake up and work hard in 11th. If you are now in 12th, start working harder. Start managing your time better, maybe take a little less leisure time, make up for the lost time, and get ready for the world that confronts you, which has many, many opportunities too for those people who are prepared to do what they need to do. And frankly, all they need to do from their perspective is to manage their time and to focus their minds. So don't take the easy options. When students say, and this is very common, I've watched it for the last 20 years in this country, increasingly so. Parents and students will increasingly say, "Bacche ko wo karne do jo usko pasand hai," what he likes. This is the normal philosophy that is there across the world. And my question that I raise when this thing is raised at me in school seminars, etc., whenever I go, is that does life happen as you like it? Does life happen as you like it? It doesn't.
Yes.
So if you are going
and given
to
the
train
current
your
situation,
mind,
Mr. Naveen Chopra, it's very, very difficult to strike a balance because, of course, there are pros and cons coming ahead with any kind of a decision that is taken. And of course, cancelling the exams in the first place wasn't an easy one either. So a lot of challenges ahead of us, but let's just hope that this all works out for the best, for the benefit of our students. Thank you for joining us on this broadcast and speaking to us, Mr. Naveen Chopra, Aditi Jain, and also both our brilliant students. Thank you.